Saturday Night Local. Come in.
Hello, everybody. We are here today with the wonderful Bears in Trees. They have just released Flower Through Concrete, two fantastic songs. So, do you want to say who you are and introduce yourselves, guys?
Yeah, we're Bears in Trees. Woo! I'm Callum. I sing and play the ukulele and play the keys.
I'm Ian. I sing and I play bass and I write half the lyrics.
I'm Nick. I play guitar and I write the other half of the lyrics.
And I'm George, and I play drums and I do production and all things technical.
Fantastic. Well, guys, it's been a busy 2 years for you, hasn't it? There's been a lot coming out. You know, you had the 2 EPs last year, and then this year you've got some more stuff. So how's it been? How's the release been, and how have people been taking it?
Yeah, it's been very, very good, I think. I think in any release cycle, I know for me personally, I always, the day before the release, I'm always like, oh, what if this is actually the worst song that's ever been written ever? And like, I don't know, Enemy, Pitchfork decide to focus on this song and go, hey, have you guys heard this song? It's so bad, you know? And that hasn't happened to date. So I think I'm still kicking off.
This track, would you? You wouldn't want that. That'd be very vile.
Can you imagine?
Could anyone survive?
But no, it's been really good. I think just always pleasantly surprised, to be honest.
And I mean, big news for you guys as well, UK tour. How's that been going? How are the first few shows on that one?
Yeah, ridiculous, really, to be honest. It was like the first show was in Manchester, and I think seeing that many people in a room all in one go, like obviously since like COVID and everything, like we were just like, what the hell? And then when we got to London and there were 600 people, it was crazy. It was so loud, like people were screaming and shouting, and it was so good. I can see why people like touring.
Was it the highest capacity in London that you played?
Yeah, London was.
Oh, okay.
That was 600, and it sold out on the day. Nice.
It's crazy. You go outside and the queue just kept going. Like it was just weaving around the street,
just circling the building.
Yeah, it was great.
Strange.
We went outside to meet fans beforehand, and this group of people were walking past. We were meeting fans, and they were like, "Oh, is there a band playing tonight?" And we were like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, who is it?" We were like, "Oh, it's us."
Yes, we're doing it.
And then they were like, "Are there more tickets available?" And we went, "No."
Catch the next one, though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Must have been a great experience meeting all the fans. How was that?
It was really lovely.
Yeah, we made sure to make the effort to like go out and, you know, walk down the queue and get pictures of people, and it was the response was just really lovely. Like we got letters, we got some people made us a Build-A-Bear.
Yeah,
we got loads of like bracelets and stuff. It was just so surreal.
We wanted to go out because obviously, like when we were growing up and going to gigs, it was so amazing just standing next to someone that you think so much of, and it's like we just see ourselves as just a group of people, just like random people.
Just humans.
We don't deserve any fanfare, we don't think. But then we go outside and it's like we want to say hello to everyone and give the people the opportunity to like actually have their moment, because they're the reason we're there. Like we wouldn't be where we were without all these people. So we've got to say thank you, and we've got to show that we're grateful for it. And it's so surreal to see people react so strongly to little old us. Like people, like some people were too nervous to talk. It was like, no, we're just people. We just keep don't need to worry. But it was really, really nice, and it was really nice. Made a real safe environment, I think.
I must say, one thing I've noticed with you guys is your kind of relationship with your fans is incredible. I mean, just looking at the social media, especially, you know, you guys respond to a lot of the comments. You're constantly taking into account what people are saying. And I mean, you've got fan pages. How does that feel?
Memes about you.
It's funny because when we were starting out back back in the day. We actually made our own Facebook group with our mates, and we would all just post memes of us. Like we made our own memes, and no one else was on it. Only people we knew. It was very funny. But now, yeah, things. Oh, how the turntables are turning. Yeah. I think basically we grew up with a lot of music. We grew up in these environments, these spaces, and we just wanted to make sure that our one was one that was filled with, it was a safe, welcoming environment. We wanted to make sure everyone felt seen and heard, and we wanted to, be grateful for the people there. And I think the people respond positively to that. Like, we just want to make them feel, safe and welcome in that space.
I think that's such a kind of key ethos to your music as well. It really comes across that you guys you see kind of your fans' response and their relationship with you is very important. I think you kind of get that across in how personal you are with your lyrics as well. I mean, the 1-2 punch from last year, I want to feel chaotic and keep me safe, especially. I mean, yes. I was listening to those back to front, and they were like impacting me massively. Very emotional over it. So I think you really do it just by being honest in your own lyrics.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's a lovely thing to hear, honestly. Thank you so much.
Has your lyrical focus changed recently, like with this album that has just dropped?
Just been announced. The album will be dropping in November, but first single, "Till I See You from the Future," has just dropped, which is
first single.
I don't think. Yeah, I think what Angus was saying, we write honestly. It's just straight from our experiences, our heart, straight to the page, and the music just surrounds that and tries to make that translate into sonic form as much as possible. So I don't think the direction has changed. I think the only difference is like our own personal change in perspective on our lives personally. So I think I said personally like 3 times.
I do it all the time. I say wonderful about 100 times.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's as authentic, as confessional, but I think ultimately we're drawing from different experiences, and so they're gonna have different outcomes and different perspectives and different constructiveness,
words. I think it shows in you guys' playlists as well. I mean, the specific playlist I'm talking about, the songs that held my hand at the age of 16 and 18 especially, you get so many different influences on there. And putting that out there, I think, is a brilliant idea as well, because it kind of shows people where you're coming from. So do you guys have kind of a personal relationship with some of the tracks you put on there? And was it difficult to choose which tracks you wanted to put on that one?
Yeah, I remember me and Ian going through the songs that held my hand at 18 playlist when we made it, and I'm trying to recall I've got it up on my phone now. I mean, yeah, you've got a lot of songs which are like, massive to us at the time. Wedding Singer from London Baseball, Fight Boat from The World Is a Beautiful Place was a big song for us. Tibetan Pop Stars by Hop Along, which was like Ian's favorite song at one point. You wouldn't stop playing that. Pink Lemonade, which is the best Wombats album and the only album, one of the only bands we all agree on liking. So yeah, you've got just like, I think it's important that people understand that our music isn't created in a vacuum, nor is it created by just one person or two person. It's a mixture of all of our tastes over the years. And I mean, this is, I think, probably filtered through my lens more than most, but like it's trying to encompass everyone's sort of tastes at the end of the day.
That just reminded me of obviously you had to pick what went on the playlist, but we had to pick what went on the final tracks for the upcoming album. And we all did a pitch as to the others as to which tracks we thought, and obviously because we all have different backgrounds and different influences, that kind of assessed it, and there were some very heated debates in there.
But there were quite a few real strong agreements as well.
I think we agreed on like 7 songs that we all said okay have to go on the album, and then we were like, okay, we need like 6 more. And that took a while that was like a good few hours. We didn't leave the room until it was settled.
Yeah.
I mean, would you guys see kind of releasing something like Notes from the Cutting Room Floor as an option with the tracks from the new album, if they weren't necessarily going to be released alongside it?
We actually, on our Patreon, we released the demo just to plug the Patreon real quick.
Plug away.
You got to plug your Patreon. Come on.
Yeah.
We released the unreleased, the Notes from the Cutting Room Floor, exactly called that, demos from what we didn't put out. And it's really interesting because people were going like, wow, if these ones didn't make it on the album, that would be pretty good.
Yeah, hopefully.
I don't think any of them were like, none of them were like worse. It wasn't that we these ones aren't as good. It was we wanted to create something that was bigger than the individual songs. We wanted to create a story, a narrative, a world, a space. And it's just some of them just were a bit too much their own thing and didn't fit into that grander narrative. So they got axed.
Yeah.
I think that the ones we ended up cutting more were kind of the slightly more chill, sort of laid back ones, which then kind of meant all the other ones fit together within kind of like a sound a bit more.
Does that mean we can expect some kind of more up tempo stuff from the next project then?
You betcha. We got some fat sounds coming your way.
Full of happiness.
I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily happy, but it's very, very loud.
It was interesting when Ian was talking about like how the lyric, like it's still from the same perspective, but the lyrics have changed. Actually, I think one of the biggest changes with like the album is like our like production values, I guess, how we've like, not only are we now better as songwriters, hopefully, as we've been doing it more and more. Yeah, you hope so. But we just spent more time like making proper demos, and then refining stuff. And then we've got someone new and mixing it. Who also mixed Flower Through Concrete, but Alex, who is incredible. And so like the whole kind of, I think it was just a step up in that respect, which is another thing to look forward to.
Ooh. Definitely. How have you found putting together an album like this over the last year or so? Like, what's the process of that? Was it, sending remote recordings to one another, like, hey, this is such a cool riff? Or, what was it like?
That happened a little bit, but I think for the most part, we wrote and recorded just whenever there were gaps in the regulations. So whenever we could meet up, we were immediately meeting up and doing something.
I think we were quite lucky in that we'd pretty much finished most of the writing, if I'm right, before it all got too bad. And so it was then when we were trying to record and finish off the recording, but we had to like really like just, we were going in pairs to the studio because it was safer than having all four. We couldn't get everyone in, so like have to be like that, and just kind of just whatever was necessary in for a couple of hours recording and then back out again and being really but we managed to get it all done eventually.
Was it kind of harder booking tour dates and stuff as well, especially, I guess, with how uncertain it's been?
The tour got rescheduled 3 times, I think. It was meant to be originally just one, it was like one show, and then they were like, oh, well, we have to put this back, so we put a few more shows around it, and then it became like 3 or 4 shows in December, and then we were like, oh, we got to put it back to summertime now, and now we might as well throw on some more shows and upgrade.
More shows. Keep pushing it back forever.
The thing is, on the merch, we were like, we didn't know if the dates we had set were actually going to happen, so we didn't know what to do with the back of the tour shirt. You have all the dates for the venues and the shows. So on the back of our one, it says like Birmingham, probably going to happen. Manchester, maybe.
Yeah.
Good time.
I think it's been a strange year for everyone, hasn't it? Especially musicians. Losing venues for so long was a real tough thing. I mean, we're only getting out of it now, aren't we? So we can only hope it's going to be onwards and upwards, and hopefully some more funding for the music industry would be really appreciated about now.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be a dream?
Recognize how much they love live music and how much they rely on like art to get them by. Yeah. So hopefully people will be more aware.
It will be a big part of how we come back, and it should get the appropriate funding, I think. Everyone's going to be wanting to go to festivals, listen to bands, go out for nights out, that sort of thing. you know, it plays such a significant role in our lives.
For sure.
I think in a way it's the one kind of almost positive from COVID has been bands who wouldn't necessarily have been able to find an outreach have really found a place on social media as well, which I think has kind of been amazing. And like you said, you guys have specifically focused on kind of cultivating that safe space, which I think again is so important and something that really should be happening in music and on social media. So again, props to you for doing that. I mean,
yeah, I think because obviously we were all stuck at home, we had a lot more time to like really invest in our online sort of sphere. So like we were running weekly games nights and, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, and yeah, like you say, just creating that safe space.
I mean, another thing you guys have done very well is your YouTube. Some of those videos would just have me absolutely dying, especially Bears in Trees TV. When is it coming? What is happening with it?
We want to do another one, but
We really want to do another one.
Everything gets really busy really quickly in just like short bursts. So like as soon as we have a bit more time, we're going to do episode 2, and it's going to be even more fever dreamish.
Got to keep up in the level.
Yeah. My favorite thing about you guys is marketing, especially. It just all kind of feels like a half-remembered dream. And I'm just like, did I just watch that?
That's the vibe.
Yeah. There was like someone posted the picture, like a meme on our Discord server the other day, and it was like, and the meme was like, every time Bears and Trees post a TikTok, I get even more confused, but I'm here now. I can't escape.
The one that really stood out to me, I found a YouTube page called Stan in Trees, and they uploaded a video called the Unofficial Bears in Trees documentary. And blew me away. That was brilliant.
Strange.
But it's all true though, is the issue. Like the facts are all there, which is so funny.
They managed to like piece together the history from like various interviews and stuff and got the whole thing. Apart from this one scene where it's like, I have no idea how this actually happened, but for the sake of this video, it happened like this.
Brilliant. Yeah, it just had me absolutely dying, some of the stuff in those videos. Absolutely brilliant. And it's good. I think humor is so important in, well, music and especially promotion. And I think it wins, you know, people really like a bit of humor. You know, you get these
kind of
bands who take
authentic,
stuff
you know,
seriously.
Getting a view at what the person's sense of humor is.
Definitely.
We don't want to take ourselves seriously. We never have. We've always been, you know, cringy as hell and just have the time, you know? It's just like there's no need to take yourself seriously when you can. Life is too serious as it is. Just enjoy yourself, you know?
Absolutely. On the enjoyment factor as well, you guys planning any kind of future outside the UK gigs? You going to travel? Oh, that was a little raised eyebrow there. I saw that.
There are plans that I don't want to say, nothing's like confirmed. So like I wouldn't want to say it and then it not happen. I feel like that would be bad. But we are working on things. There are behind the scenes. There are Bears in Trees fairies running around and making things happen.
Yeah, definitely.
That's exciting too. And just thinking about touring as well, because I think one thing people don't really necessarily talk about is support bands and artists like that. So have you guys kind of selected supports? Did you do that all yourself, or was it kind of put together by events managers?
So half and half, I think it was. So some of them were selected by the events managers, and some we directly selected because we were like we really want these guys. They're really cool. But like for the most part, like we got on with, actually I say for the most part, we got on with every single band. It was such a lovely environment every time we were playing. Like everyone seemed to just be really just happy to be there and happy to play music.
Yeah.
I think we were all just enjoying it.
Yeah, I think we always said when we started touring and with, you know, doing our headline tour, whatever, when we used to go and play bands and we would just like play shows and we were supporting another band, we always want, you know, like them to be really supportive. So we kind of said we wanted to be the headline band, which we wanted when we were supporting. So just like being open and just like giving advice if we can, or being helpful and helping with this and just being like welcome. Because if they're having a good show, then we're having a good show and the fans are having a good show, and it just creates a better environment for everyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. On that front, you guys want to shout anyone out, or hell, even what you're listening to at the moment? Would love to just kind of hear some recommendations for us, even because we're always looking for new bands to listen to.
At the moment, I guess it's timed. I guess if this goes out later, it's not going to be out right now. But at the moment, Order Gartland's album has just been released, and that is very good. I'm enjoying that at the moment. That's my main go-to.
I go through phases of listening to just all sorts of weird music, as the band knows. Right now, I'm listening to a lot of country, like very small country Western artists, like the Hill Country Devil and Sierra Farrell, I think is her name. She just released an album. It was great. It was making music for a very long time. Has only recently released anything. So like a lot of weird country like acts that I'm getting into.
I can't talk because I got really into Maroon 5 recently. And ironically,
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
As
that.
anyone does
Still
at
on that
some
wave.
point and doesn't admit it.
I've been on that. Yeah, I've been on that wave for a while.
Yeah.
Well, like old Maroon 5, new Maroon 5, like what we talking?
mainly old, like first two albums, Maroon 5.
First
yeah,
songs about Jane. Come on.
Yeah.
exactly. Songs about Jane. That's the one. Yeah.
Nick has been on this ride, Maroon 5 ride, for a very
Quite a
long time.
while.
Like it seems to have been like a few months now, if not more.
It's a fever dream.
Something into Cam's car and just plug it on, going, trust me, it's like it's Maroon, it is, but you trust me. Now this one is a little bit edgier. Throws on another.
Yep. Sounds like me.
Dream then support act for Maroon 5.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've been listening to, what have I been listening to? Kind of like a bit of Maisie Peters stuff. I think there's another band, I think they're called like Leon or something. I don't know. I listen to their stuff and never actually like think to work out what their name is. It's got like a hyphen in it or like an accent thing. It's probably about that. But yeah, it's cool stuff.
Sure. Again, just from that, as our listeners can hear, such a varied taste in music, you know, so many different influences there. I mean, I maybe not weighed the same. I don't know how much country goes in compared to how much Maroon 5 goes into the music.
It will start as soon as we start writing again. It's going to be all country. It's all going to be country Maroon 5. It's going to be really guitar thing they do on the banjo. That's going to be really
There we go.
Can't wait to hear the country 5. Love this stuff. Well, guys, as we kind of get towards the end, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you guys. Listeners won't know this, but we had these guys on before, had a few technical issues, terrible software, our end completely. But thanks for coming along and just
I screwed up.
Shooting the shit really with us. It was just great.
Happy to.
really enjoyed it. That's what I was happy.
It's great to talk to you guys after the tour as well, to hear how it was and everything, because you know, that's such a great experience as well. And
we're keeping our eyes out for tickets as well. That's another thing.
Definitely.
I've got some money set aside for it.
Next time, don't worry.
There's still 2 more shows that got postponed in October.
Oh, really?
So Newcastle and Glasgow.
A little bit of a trek, but
yeah, Angus, do you fancy a Scotland road trip?
Yeah.
Go on then, we'll do it.
Yeah, man.
Why not?
Why not?
Last question we usually ask as well is just especially with your relationship with your fans, what would you say to people just starting out in music? I'm sure you hear it all the time, but what advice could you give?
Do we all do one piece of advice each?
I feel like they're all going to be quite similar, but go for it.
Who wants to go first?
Okay, I always misquote this, but it's Adventure Time, isn't it? And it's the first step to being sort of good at something is sucking at it, or sucking at something is the first step to being sort of good at something. I think when you're writing when you're doing something which is as subjective as music, you will, no matter what you write, you can write like the best song in the world and someone will tell you they don't like it. So I think like, you know, you're just gonna have to keep going. If you're writing what you like, someone somewhere will like it, and someone somewhere will connect to the lyric you written or something. So I think just it's about keeping going, and you'll grow, you'll get better. You'll write a rubbish song, you'll write a really good song, then you'll write 10 crap ones, and then you'll write another good one. Yeah, I
think following on from that, just like you have to make mistakes first and then you learn from them, and just don't let that discourage you.
Hannah Montana was the one who said everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has mistakes. That one. I want to say that just don't try and write like anyone else. Just write like you. Right? Don't try and write so people understand. Just write what you want to write. What's coming straight out of your head. That's always where the gems are. Just being true to your perspective.
Mine is just release it.
Yeah.
Because the amount of musicians we get messages from who are like, oh, you know, I've got all these songs, I don't want to release them. And it's like, you just like, you have to take the plunge. Like ultimately, you know, you've got this, you know, please put it out there. Someone wants to hear it.
That someone is us. We always want to hear new music.
Exactly.
So release your music and send it to us, guys. We always want to hear it. Again,
Exactly.
Bears and Trees, guys. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time. Is there anything kind of you want to shout out, promote, or kind of, you know, plug some social medias, whatever? Just anything you want to shout out?
If this is coming out after September 17th, then go listen to the new single that we just released.
Great Heights, and it's very good. Yeah.
Go listen to Great Heights.
Yeah.
Everyone's reviewed it and says it's really good, so you have to listen to
it.
Yeah, and keep an eye out for the album.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, until next time, guys. Take care.
Amazing.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so much.
releases.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Wait, I'm just gonna